Getting ready for the Fever's final regular season lineups. No Nafisa Collier. Smith in Boston is underway. So much still undetermined when it comes to the seeding 2 through 4 and 6, 7, 8. Makes these last couple of days of the regular season very intriguing. Here's Sims dashing in, couldn't bank it home.
One thing is for certain, both of these teams want to go into the playoffs with some momentum. Feeling
everyone at our company happy. Rebecca, where will those playoffs be?
They're going to be all on ESPN.
Yeah, every single game. Here's Williams short on the jumper.
I was like, does he want me to name the cities?
Here's Boston and a foul out front on Shepard. Only 8 teams have ever done that. 7 of them went on to win the title. As Boston gets free and lays it in.
I love it. So simple. Just a
Kurt backing away. McBride will launch. No. And the rebound.
A rare time you do not see good spacing on the offensive end by the Minnesota Lynx. That last possession, 3 players scrunched up in that right corner. But how about the last possession for the Indiana?
An Indiana team that is series against Minnesota. And Howard hits both free throws. Stephanie White told us that she'd be mindful of minutes depending on how the game's going. They're not going to try and put any of their players in peril when it comes to chasing the 6. Also still alive in that mix. Smith, the 3 is off. Shepard, the offensive rebound and a foul. As Boston.
It's like offensive rebounding that she can do.
Knocked away. Boston comes up with a steal. Here is Mitchell veering through the paint and lays it in. A 6-0 start for Indiana. Smith will launch around and off. Boston and a rebound knocking.
I agree with you completely. She will be on my first team.
Boston in the paint, sneaks through 2 and lays it in. Able to wheel herself between the 0 lead for Indiana. Quickly out of the gates. Here's Shepard. Fading, short. Boston and Howard there, and it's Howard who secures the rebound. Here comes Sims. Pedaling into the paint, leaning and hitting. A 10-0 run to start this game for Indiana. And Minnesota wants a timeout. Caitlin Clark knows it. Thank you very much. She said, we have good people who pull for one another. And it's really been that way from day one. And it's been continued with whoever has come in mid-season. As Kolendikova. Yeah, one of the things Cheryl Reed pointed out was hey, I don't believe you can just flip the switch. Said, I want our habits to be good going into the playoffs. They've struggled a little bit lately, so she played a rotation of just 6 versus Golden State, trying to send the message out.
And it sounded like she was really happy with her team's performance in that game, and in this one, if their starters were performing well, it sounded like she might go a little bit deeper or longer into.
No Nafisa Collier in this game. Here's Sims, flinging it out. Howard fakes the pass, takes the drive, unable to scoop it in, and here comes Courtney. Letitia Hyman off the bench for Minnesota. Kolendikova will let it fly. No, and Minnesota now 0 for 5 from 3 as Boston can't succeed. If they were to win the championship this year, they'd be the first franchise to 5 WNBA titles. Kolendikova able to flip it in again. She's another potential difference maker in these playoffs.
Yeah, I've really liked what she has brought to the team this year. Just kind of a different presence in terms of her physicality and size. She's also capable from 3.
Williams, #1 in the league in mid-range jumpers, and knocks down one there. That will force an Indiana timeout. Good for LA.
Keep in mind, there are 4 games being played on Thursday. The playoffs start Sunday. That's going to be a tough turnaround for some of those teams.
Right, especially when something is going to be on the line for so many of those teams. Boston can't finish. Howard can. Because if you're thinking about it, Rebecca, decisive game 5 on your home floor or not.
Yes.
Heidemann off. Accelerates, floats, and drops it in.
We've seen a couple times now what Odyssey Sims brings when she's playing her best rim. She can also use it and spray to open teammates.
Heidemann able to sneak it in, plus the foul. And a chance for three for Natisha Heidemann.
How well has Natisha Heidemann?
Three off the bench, which ties a league record. We were asking her and Courtney Williams about their live stream stud buds and how things have been going since their famous 72-hour stream. This is booming. Aerial Powers playing in her 8th game with the Fever in their ever-expanding roster because of their injuries. Williams went for the steal. Powers sticks the jumper from 3.
It really is just absolutely extraordinary.
Backdoor, Heidemann lays it in on the delivery from McBride.
That was the clear side of the floor, and Natisha Heidemann read the defense beautifully.
Howard, good position on the interior. Draws 2, kicks it out. Powers, you bet! Back-to-back threes from Aerial Powers. Euphoric on the bench. Here's Boston off the steal. Coast to coast, heading for 2. Here's Williams, off to McBride, can't hit. Powers, tips for run. Here's Powers, weaving and dropping it home. 8 straight from Aerial Powers in just 2 minutes off the bench.
Yeah, when coaches say they want you to bring energy off the bench, this is a perfect example of it.
Here is Heidemann, handing it off to Williams. Back to Heidemann. Has it stolen by Sims. Odyssey Sims now in transition. Bends off and gets fouled. And Odyssey Sims is the energy, the life, the toughness that she brings as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Erin that role they envisioned for her very well.
Yeah, no doubt. And Holly, one of the things that Steph talked about was when you lose a player like Sophie Cunningham, who brought...
All right, Aerial Powers, let's get her out of Turkey.
They have a big magnetic board with all players who might be available. They've had to shuffle around on that board a lot this season. Rebound tipped around, grabbed by Minnesota. Another chance here for the Lynx. Heidemann at 3 is off. And Dunt is the rebound out this. Turner has it knocked out of bounds. Last hit her. Minnesota basket.
I have to ask my son what all of that means.
Heidemann can't finish. And Turner the rebound. And a whistle again. The team after a tough first quarter.
I don't think there's anything tricky about it, Ryan. We're here to play basketball. That's our job.
Yeah, I mean, and what Cheryl talked about with us is, hey, you can't just flip the switch. We need to be going in playing with our normal habits when we get to the playoffs. This is a team that started the season 28-5. They're just 5-4 in their last 9 games. She saw some slippage, addressed it, and obviously seeing it in the first quarter today.
Nice job boggling things down on the block and then getting the steal as well.
Boston comes up with a steal here. They had just 2 assists in that first quarter. Very un-Lynx-like. Sims can't lay it in, and Kolandakova comes down with the rebound. Made his franchise record for assists per game and have the 3rd most all-time. That is more what we're used to. Beautiful find, Williams to Shepard.
Pretty play, and that time in their secondary, yes, a great read in the pick and roll.
Powers kicks that one out of bounds. Williams 2nd in the league in assists as she misfires on that mid-range jumper. On pace to set a Lynx record for most assists per game. Has another one there on a beautiful dime to Kolandakova.
Same thing, she just read the on-ball action, and she kind of has a knack for knowing exactly when to deliver it.
This is a player who didn't play point guard at all until a couple of years ago. As Duntis hits the 3, and Williams has developed into one of the, if not, she's certainly going to amass a lot of votes. Knocked that about. Williams lays it in on the delivery from Shepard.
Team than we saw early in the first.
Here's Petty, a deep three. It is good. Indiana is 4 for 4 from three-point range. 0 for 9. 14-point Indiana lead. Carlton into the paint. Shepard lays it in. Lynx now getting a lot of looks at the rim in this second.
For the areas they're really good is the way they can share the ball and move in open space.
Sims bodies into a whistle and will shoot two.
How about Shea Petty? You know, she's the
Remember,
one.
in the bubble, she was a playoff hero.
Yeah.
They're just the fourth team ever. No, those aren't.
That coaches want
No,
to.
exhausting. Williams bunny hops into the finish.
Everything has just been simplified the last few possessions. Get the ball to Courtney Williams, set an on-ball screen, get some weak side cuts.
Hell in the corner, not that time. First miss from 3 tonight for Indiana, but then Carlton gives it right back, and Howard cashes in. Williams. Pull-up jumper is short. Ball. Sims on the follow, that second effort, able to finish.
Yeah, we need to give people a little more time. Right?
That was quick.
And by people, I mean me.
Yeah.
Need a little more time to let it die.
I was about to guess Courtney Williams as my second. I knew AB, and you know, now you think I'm just fibbing because the answer was up there.
I believe you. You're not a fibber.
Howard in and out on a three. Williams able to juggle and hang on to the rebound. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for Williams. Lexi Hull back out there with 2 fouls. Shepard again wide open in the paint, lays it in.
A great pass by Smith, and out of the timeout we saw what Cheryl Reeve setting up a play to get Shepard a touch inside. She was able to finish on it.
Mitchell connects on a 3. Kelsey Mitchell, 3rd in the league in scoring, behind Asia Wilson and Afisa Collier.
Hard all the time.
Backdoor, McBride lays it in. I mean, every bucket Minnesota's had in this quarter feels like it's been a layup.
That's the second time we've seen that on the right side and able to set up the backdoor cut.
Hull off to Sims. Sims, leaning jumper is good. Odyssey Sims with 11 points in 14.
Throughout the course of her career.
Courtney Williams can't fillet it in. Howard the board. Here's Mitchell trying to find an angle and does. Just serving it in with the left hand. Now, if Golden State loses out and Indiana wins tonight, the Fever would end up the 6th seed rather than the 7th. Alana Smith can't finish. Boston. Mitchell fires. No. Let's send things over to Holly Rowe.
A couple days later, the bloody lip. She'll do whatever it takes, and I talked to her today about it, and she said, I just love diving on the floor, whatever it takes for my team. I just want to impact the game, and doesn't care if it takes her face to do that.
You know, Holly, my old radio co-host, Robin Lundberg, who now covers women's basketball 13 days. That series gets a little bit more intriguing because of the way...
3rd game of a 3-game road trip. But they certainly, on neither end of the floor, have looked like the dominant them off.
Now, one thing to note, Vegas currently is the 3, but if they win out, they will be the 2. Boy, Caitlin Clark and Ariel Powers had some reaction on the bench after someone spilled to the hardwood on that possession. They both popped up mouths agape. Deflected, McBride scoops it up, drives it in, couldn't finish. Here comes Sims. Patient as she pedals. Mitchell always scurrying into Boston. Meets Shepard and then Smith. One of the best defense this season. Williams can't finish it. Smith the O-board. Another chance here for Minnesota. Under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Williams, pull-up jumper. No.
Crossover and Kayla McBride kind of went down. I think she maybe even rolled her ankle a little bit on it.
There you go.
But that was the cause of the escapity. Which means you're married. You know that means I'm going to use it over and over again.
That's right. For me, that manifests just in me repeating made up Caitlin Clark. They're down. Harry McDonald, Sid Colson, Sophie Cunningham. Even Chloe Bibby has done a nice job for them. But, you know, either Vegas or Atlanta.
I think any team that has the ability to shoot threes at the clip that Indiana does can be dangerous. You know, especially in just in the 3 injuries they've had, that they've been able to continue to perform like this. But they have 5 different players almost at all times who can bring the ball up the floor. Usually 4 or 5 who are adept at making shots from deep. I mean, you just saw a big there creating her own look as well from Natasha Howard.
Yeah, can't seasons they've had. Hull as well to keep the team afloat. While all the other conceived rotation players have been injured, or in the case of DeWanna Bonner, left. Here's Williams. Off to Smith, unable to lay it in, and a foul against Indiana. And free throws here for Alana Smith.
Natasha and spins.
Yeah, and spins. Somebody call Sue Blau. Coming up on the WNBA halftime. And the Fever focused for the playoffs. Malika, Monica, and
Run up! Oh.
Three to shoot. Sims, leaner off. Knocked away by Shepard. 6 seconds left in the half. Here comes Williams, blazing to the bucket and lays it in. 2 seconds remaining. Howard will get it off. That will do it for the first half. Indiana shoots 58% from the floor. They put up 49 points and lead by 13.